Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name is Tanya, and today, not a recipe, but something you might need to know. It's coming up on warmer weather, and I know a lot more people, like myself, are going to be serving a lot more salads. We just do that in the summertime. I don't know, I kind of serve them year-round, but some people just lean toward the warmer weather to serve salads in. Now for the salads, you normally need lettuce. I'm not a huge fan of iceberg. There are some applications for iceberg lettuce, but I love romaine. I love it so much, and I buy it so often. There's few weeks that go by that I don't buy the 3-pack of organic romaine at the supermarket. It's just one of those things I have to get every time. And we use all of it. Now, I've done a video before on how to preserve your romaine and keep it to where it doesn't get all wilty and brown, and you chop the root part of it off after you wash it. But the washing is really key to this. So I'm just going to give you an overview of what I do when I bring my romaine home and what I do before I store it. So let's go over to the sink and I'll show you that I have some soaking right now. So as much as it just seems like something that most people would know how to do, surprisingly enough, a lot of people come home from the supermarket, they rinse their lettuce off, they put it in a bag, stick it in the fridge. So like I said, I've done a video on how to preserve it, and it lasts for actually quite a long time. Mine doesn't usually last very long, but if I were to keep it several weeks, like if we're going to be gone somewhere for a week, it's still good when I come back. But here's the key to the biggest part of that, and that is washing it. Now, I'm going to show you a little clip right here of what the water looks like because of how I clean mine, and the bugs are floating in the water. Okay, shocking, I know. Now one of those bugs, actually that was a gnat flying around a while ago because I got plants going out in the sunroom, I've got the door open, they come in, and this bug apparently landed on the surface of the water and decided that probably was not a good idea right before he met his demise. So what I do when I come home is I cut the package open and I take my side sink right here. This, you can tell, this is just a smaller side of my kitchen sink. And I fill that with water, but I do a little squirt of dish soap. Now use whatever kind of dish soap you want. Try to steer clear of the antibacterial stuff. I'm just not a huge fan of it anyway, but particularly in this because you're going to be eating it, and if there's any residue left on, you'll know it because dish soap has a very strong taste to it. But use a good Castile soap if you want to, something that's not going to hurt you if you eat it. But start out with warm water. Get it all sudsy, then add your cold water to it. You want it cold because your lettuce is going to crisp up when the water gets cold. So just take your lettuce and lay it down in the water. And I've had mine soaking since yesterday at about noon, and right now it's mid-morning the next day. So this has almost been in here for 24 hours. And it looks pretty. It doesn't look soggy, wilted, yucky, anything. So I've had it in here, but the main reason is to get rid of the insects in it. Now I buy organic, so I'm expecting there to be bugs in it. If your produce doesn't have bugs in it, if it's got little hidey holes like romaine lettuce does, I'd be a little bit concerned about that. But I buy organic because I just think it's a better choice. I don't want what potentially they've sprayed on conventional. So all that being said, I come in, I put it in the water, and that has just a tiny bit of dish soap in it. So you're basically going to be putting it in something like dishwater, but it's going to be cold water. Leave it soaking. And what's going to happen is any bugs that are living in there are basically going to drown. Now, if you just put it in water, what's going to happen is they're going to come to the top of the water, or they're going to produce little air bubbles around them because it has a surface tension in the water, and they're going to be able to breathe. So they can survive like that. They'll come and they'll scoot around on top of the water, float around, and climb out of your sink, go into your house. But if you put the dish soap in there, that is going to be a surfactant that's going to break the surface tension on the water. It's a little too sciencey for me to get into it, because not because I don't want to tell you, it's because I don't know. I'm just not that smart. but I do know it breaks the surface tension and they cannot walk on the water and they cannot breathe. So you're going to drown a bunch of bugs. Now what I'm seeing down in here looks more like little aphids. Yeah, I know what an aphid looks like. I think they're aphids, and that's fine. I just don't want to eat them. So you're just going to jiggle them around a lot too to get the dirt and the debris off of it, because every once in a while when you peel the leaf back, there'll be some dirt, some soil right in there. But after they've soaked about 24 hours, turn your cold water on. And you're just going to rinse them really, really well. Get a strainer or a rack of something off of a pan, or even set them up in your sink in a bowl or something and place them upright like this, because the water is going to drain out a lot easier. Whereas if you put them like this, sometimes the leaves are curled up and it's going to collect little puddles of water in there. So turn them upright like they would naturally grow out of the soil. If it rains on them, the water's going to go down to the roots. So put them like this. Then when they dry, and that could be 24 hours later, you're going to take and chop the end off and store them in an airtight container. So I'm going to get those washed up. I'm going to get them in a strainer of some kind to let them dry. And I'm going to have lettuce for this week. But now you know a hack for cleaning your lettuce. Now I see people saying all the time, oh, I use salt water, or I use baking soda, or I use vinegar. That's all fine and good. What I'm reading in some instances, people are saying don't use vinegar and baking soda together. They just cancel each other out. Use one or the other, but I find that just a couple or 3 drops of dish soap in the water makes a good surfactant, drowns the bugs, and we're good to go. Cleans off debris and gets rid of the bugs. So now you know. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Bye, guys.